People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blogs located PurpleButterfly-People.blogspot.com. My soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at PurpleButterfly-Soaps.myshopify.com. And yes, I have been absent, missing, ghost, unavailable lately. And there's a reason for that. On the 8th of February, I went for my platelet check, like I always do. They told me my platelets were 318, which is phenomenal. For once, it's in the normal range. My white count's a little low, but, and I'm going, hey, yeah. I mean, 6 years and it's in the normal range. Usually it's way too high, It's like every time I do a platelet check, they adjust my medicine accordingly. So if my platelets are too high, they might double the chemo, so that way it lowers my platelets. Or, it's like sometimes you're doing one pill one day and then 2 pills the next day, then one, and alternates. Right now I'm on a dose of 2 pills a day, and that's got my platelets in the normal range, but they still gotta check me in 6 weeks because my white count is low. Okay, fine, no problem. I get it, When you're dealing with a chemo medicine that lowers your platelets, you get one part in range and this part over here might go off kilter, so they have to tweak it, and it's a constant balancing act, so forth and so on. No big whoop. So I leave the doctor's office, and because of where my new apartment is located, everything that I was doing before is all in the same location. Like my old house, Walgreens, the post office, the BMV, Kroger's are all within the same 3 blocks. So basically I drive 20 minutes to get to the doctor's office, which is 10 minutes away from my old apartment. So after I left there, I went to the post office, which is basically 4 blocks away from my old house. And I'm at the post office checking my mail. I was going to go from there to Walgreens to pick up my script. Then I have a little business to do at the BMV, concerning a letter they sent me. And then I was going to circle around and go visit my aunt. None of that happened. I get to the post office and my phone rings, and I'm going, I didn't tell anybody I had a doctor's appointment today, so who is this? Because usually people know when I'm out, that's a good time to, contact me or whatever, because if I'm already running errands, I'm willing to detour or whatever. So I pick up the phone. Hello? Yes, Kay? This is Dr. Latif's office. We need you to return to the hospital. What, did I forget something? No, ma'am, but we do need you to return to the hospital. And I went, okay, why? I don't really want to discuss it on the phone, but I do need you to return to the hospital. I said, lady, listen, I have 4 different things I have to do before I get back to my apartment. So unless it's some kind of emergency, we could do this tomorrow. Because I'm at the post office. I got to see my aunt. I got to pick up my scripts. I got to go to the BMV. She goes, okay, fine. You want to go there? We'll go there. I need you to return to the hospital because your blood level was 623. And I went, okay, because what? It was like everything went blank. It's like, what did you just say? And she said, your sugar level is over 600. Technically, you're comatose. And I went, I can't be comatose. I'm walking around. And she goes, yes, ma'am, and we want you to continue to walk around. So I need you to immediately go to the hospital. Don't pass go. Don't run errands. Don't do anything other than go to the hospital. Maybe call somebody, let them know what your situation is before you start driving. And I went, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. So I called my son and said, can you come get my car? No, I'm due at my job in 20 minutes. What's up? And I said, the hospital called. They want me to go back to the hospital. And I don't want my car to get stranded there, so forth, so on, because they claim it doesn't happen anymore. But, you know, it's happened twice. If you are a patient at the hospital overnight or for a couple of days, sometimes they page and find out if you left your car there and you're a patient in the hospital before they tow your car away, or sometimes they just tow your stuff away. And they towed my car once. The second time, I actually got a, person that came to my room and said, oh, are you parked in the Goodman garage? Yes. What's your license number? I was like, license number, blah, 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 wrote it down. She goes, okay, they was going to tow your car. We're just making sure that, it's like, understood. And one thing about UC Hospital, if they do tow your car and you are a patient, they will pay that tow bill. So you don't even have to worry about, geez, that's $200 I won't get back, so forth, so on. Anyway, let's cancel that. Let's go on with the story. So I tell my son, they said my sugar level was 600. I didn't get to finish. He said, Mom, go to the hospital right now. It's like, okay, fine, no problem. So then I sent 3 texts. I texted my building manager and told her that I had to go to the hospital about my sugar level. So please keep an eye on my apartment, because that's what they do. She informed the security and all that, so that way nobody just, breaks in your stuff. I did a group message with my friends. I don't usually put them in a group, but, when there's 19 people, you can't necessarily do individual messages if there's a time limit. So I told them what the situation was. And then there's a family text that we do, so that way we can inform everybody all at once, what's going on with Aunt Faye and what's going on with this person and what's going on with that person, all in the same family. So that way you don't have to type the same thing in to several different people all at the same time when you just do one message. So that was out the way. And then I got in my car because, I'm standing out in the cold talking to somebody at the post office, because, when people give you surprising information, you kind of freeze in place. It never occurs to you, I could be in my car nice and warm while I do this, or I could be inside the post office, continue. No, so, by the time I thawed out, my brain said, okay, you already got your mail, get in the car. That's when I did the text messages and everything. I started my car and I said, oh, shoot. So I went across the street to the BMV. Yes, I'm going to the hospital, but I still needed to go to the BMV because of the fact that they sent this letter to the house that basically said, if you do not do this, this, and this, we're going to automatically default you a $262 bill for title tax, unless you prove that you paid the tax on your title. Yeah, the title tax for my car was $35. But they gonna send this little default piece of paper saying that if you do not know how much you paid for your title tax and blah, 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 then just pay this $262, or we will default if you don't do it by this day. Who's gonna pay almost $300 for a tax bill that only costs $35 and can be proven because right on the title is how much the car cost and how much the tax was? Oh, but we can't take your original title, no, a copy of your original title, and nobody's gonna put their title in the mail and now they don't have it anymore and send it to somebody. So of course I went to the BMV so that way they can advise me what to do. I said, look, I got this, and and she highlights it. Oh, right here it says you need to go to this website, blah blah blah, and look up the procedure to do this. It's like, wow, really? So you send me this confusing piece of paper and then I got to look up a website, and then the website doesn't even let you send the information, so forth, so on. And then she goes, or you can fill out the form on the back. And I went, on the back? Yeah, on the back of it, it says, and see, when I seen $262, I stopped right there. I didn't even look at the back of the paper. That's when I... So basically, you fill out this. Did you pay this amount of money for your car? Yes. Did you pay the taxes? Yes. Skip down to this part? Yes. Type in this part, sign here, date it, and mail it back to them. So that's what I did. She said, don't even bother to send we have computers. We can check that. So if you send it off and you owe something, they will get back in touch with you. Otherwise, you send it with 55 cents on it and you're done. So that's what I did before I went to the hospital. So then I go ahead and I head towards the hospital. And on the way out of the BMV, headed towards the hospital, my stomach growled. And I went, ooh, wait a minute. If I'm going to the hospital and there's a possibility they might keep me, they're not going to give me any food. They might not even give me water. It's a good thing I had that thought in mind and went to McDonald's and got a Big Mac with no onions and a iced coffee. Because, yeah, when I got to the hospital, not only did they not give me anything to eat, they didn't give me anything to drink. They took my sugar level every 5 minutes. Man, that was annoying. They took my blood pressure every 15 minutes. They gave me 3 things of saline. Well, they were only going to give me 2, but after the, thing of saline, then they gave me some insulin, which made my feet swell up. And then they said, oh, you have leads. I said, yeah, but I got to use the bathroom. So they took the leads off, and all these wires that they had on me almost didn't make it to the bathroom. And then they said, oh, we need to give you another thing of saline. It's like, okay, fine. And they was like, oh, your sugar went down to 500 and something. Oh, your sugar went down so and so. It took hours, but they didn't necessarily want to keep me in the hospital because of COVID. They got people that need those beds. So they were real motivated to get me out of there as soon as they got my sugar level down. So the saline and all that wasn't necessarily working. So they decided to give me insulin injection. And when my feet swelled up, they gave me another thing of saline. But they finally got it under. They said, we're not letting you go home with it, this high. It's got to at least be 300 or lower. They got me down to 275, and then they let me go home. But by this time, because I was at, I had checked in at 4:15, 4:30. And I didn't get to go home until 1:15 a.m. snowstorm outside, no visibility. I drove 22 miles an hour. I was trying to do 25 and the wheels were spinning. But at 20, it was crunchy. So basically, I was just trekking along. And I basically tried to choose a flat, path. Because there's several ways to get to my house. 3 of them involves hills and curves and all that. So I'm just trying to take the straightest route necessary. I avoided the route that has train tracks, so forth, so on. It took me an hour and a half to get home because of this snowstorm that's out here. Anyway, I'm diabetic now. Said all that to say that. And I'm on metformin as of today, which is the 16th. I start Januvia in the morning. So actually that'll be tomorrow because they said take it in the morning. And the metformin, the Januvia, is going to be to avoid the injections. But if there is an injection, she said it will be a weekly injection because they had to patch test me on the ingredients of the insulin shot they gave me, and I'm allergic to one of the ingredients, so they're trying to find an insulin that I can take, in the event of emergencies, because, even with pills and all that, you have to have, things in place just in case, because diabetes is nothing to play with. So you are now up to date. And basically, because of the situation, everything was a little bit overwhelming. So literally for the last week, I have been getting used to stuff. I made a sharps container so that way I can do the sharps, put it in there. I had to learn what I can eat, how much of it I can eat, what's good, what's not. We went over diabetes deficits, in other words, information deficits. In other words, here's a person that knows nothing about diabetes, but they have to live their life and they have to do it, in a certain way that's going to keep them out the hospital. So I had an hour-long conversation with this wonderful person that told me, all about the situation. And, okay, you do coffee, you like cream, can we avoid sugar? I don't put sugar in my coffee. Okay, blah, blah. I don't even use creamer in my sweetener in my coffee. I just use cream. And she goes, so powdered cream is better than this cream. Okay, so what do you usually have for breakfast? I said a sweet potato. Oh, that's good, but can we put a protein with it? Like maybe a boiled egg. I went, yeah, okay. Because this morning I had sweet potato and orange. But yeah. The other day, I had a thing of Chobani yogurt, and I remember what she said about, protein. So I put a boiled egg with that. Don't ever put a boiled egg and yogurt together. Bad combination. The sulfur in the boiled egg and the yogurt marries each other, and all of a sudden, it tastes like you got spoiled stuff in your face. Just you don't want that, trust me. Anyway, I'm tired of talking. It's time to check my levels. I need some water. That's the one thing that I realized. You get thirsty really quickly. Anyway, this has been People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube, People of elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. My soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, could be located at people.etsy.com. No, that's not true. My soaps could be located at purplebutterfly-soaps.myshopify.com. Yeah, I changed the Etsy site, and then my brain is still stuck back there where that link is. So yeah, if you actually go to the Etsy site, it sends you to the Shopify site. So either way, I'm good. In the meantime, it's been a long day. I still have a box that I have to unpack. It would have been unpacked already. It was under the sink, and then it started leaking, so I dragged it out, and basically everything that's in that box, because the box got wet, has to be sorted. Some of the stuff I was just going to store for a while because I didn't know necessarily what I was going to do with it, because there's kind of like a lack of room now, even though it's a new apartment, but it's small compared to, I came from a whole house down to, 3 bedrooms, and then condensed that down to 2 bedrooms, and then condensed that down to 1 bedroom and a soap lab, and now everything's all in this, So yeah, but in the meantime, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with that, and yeah, get used to this. This thing has really messed up a lot of things I do. Like, I can't just sleep in anymore because I have to take my sugar level at a certain time and then eat. If you oversleep or whatever, then when you take your sugar level and eat and all that, then you only have enough energy to go back to sleep. I learned that the hard way. And yeah, you don't want to crash or bottom out, but by the same token, you don't want to, I can't eat too much, but by the same token, I can't get too hungry. So you have to find that middle ground, and that has been a challenge because, like on Saturday, I don't generally get up on Saturdays. So, yeah. But by Sunday, I figured out, hey, if I put, a couple of things in my little mini fridge, then I could get up, take my sugar levels, so forth, so eat something, maybe take a nap, then I was back up in time for church. And by the time church was over with, I was eating lunch and, yeah. But anyway, it's taking some getting used to. And when I was at the hospital, that's another thing, my phone decided to die. I had 11% battery. Adrian was about to go and buy a charger. I told her don't, because, I didn't even know how long I was going to be there. And yeah, they told her that I was being discharged like 9 o'clock, so forth. So I don't know who told her that, but in the meantime, I didn't get out there until 1 something. Well, I didn't get home until 1 something. But in the meantime, I didn't have my charger on me. I didn't have one in the car. But now I done bought a 5-pack, and that's my original. I will never, ever, ever be out of the C-Jack ever again, because at the hospital they had a micro, they had a mini. They go, oh, we got these, and none of that fit my phone. And in the meantime, I got all these people that are saying, keep me posted, and I got 11% battery. Yeah, we don't want to wait that long. So on my way home, of course, 11% battery, it's 2 o'clock in the morning almost. You don't necessarily want to send an update at that late point, but people were still trying to get in touch, and my phone turned itself off. So when I got to the apartment, I plugged the phone in. I went to the bathroom because it took a long time to drive home. I was really, really, really trying to get to that room quickly. So by the time I did what I needed to do, washed my hands and everything, came out, the phone, because it got stuck on a charger, had powered itself up. And then I heard the, ching, ching, saying, hey, the phone's powered up. And then I hear beep, 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 beep. Every ringtone from every individual, because I have assigned ringtones for everybody, the phone was just blowing up, just boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, okay, I know what's going on here. Everybody's worried. So I decided to send a broadcast message. It said, literally one sentence, I'm home, we'll keep you posted, talk to you tomorrow. Send to everybody. So when I woke up and everything, then I typed in, basically status report, so forth, so on. Even typed in, I've eaten, I've taken my sugar levels, I've done my medicines, I'm good, I'm going back to sleep now. So yeah, in the meantime, that was everything, and you're now up to date. Hopefully, because the metformin has turned out to be a good thing. It gets you diarrhea though, so yeah, they don't tell you that until it's too late. So they tell you to take a week to get used to it, and tomorrow will be the end of the week. So then I start the second dose. Instead of one pill at breakfast and one pill at dinner, now it's going to be 2 pills at breakfast and 2 pills at dinner, because she wants my level up, the pill level, because it's 500 milligrams. She wants me to take 1,000, so that way my sugar levels are under a certain level. She wants me in the 90 to 100 range. Today was my second lowest sugar level, and it was 200. One time I hit 192, and that was a day when, literally my legs felt like rubber, because basically for my brain, that was a crash. But apparently a sugar level that's normal is 90. So yeah, so we have to get it down lower. I was hypoglycemic all my life. So basically, when my sugars were too low, I had to eat a banana, even though I'm allergic to bananas, to raise it up, or something starchy, or, piece of candy or whatever. Right now, I'm the opposite of that. I can't have sugar. I can't do starches. I can't do a lot of foods that made me happy, like Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid is now a big nasty no-no. Ugh. I can have it maybe once every now and then. A glass this big. I used to chug a thing of Kool-Aid. A whole gallon of Kool-Aid didn't even last me 2 days. Now I get to have 1 glass a week. Why bother? Because you make the big old thing of Kool-Aid, and you're not going to drink just 1 glass. So, yeah. It's like pop. I can get a pop and drink it, and then I'm good for, however long it takes me to get another pop, which might be a week. But that's 1 serving instead of here's a whole gallon or something. So, that's how Kool-Aid is going to be. It's like, 1 serving is, a glass that's 8 ounces tall. So I'm not going to make a whole thing of Kool-Aid because, yeah, why bother? Anyway, I've rambled on enough and I got to go potty. So this has been Kay, otherwise known as Peepla7 on Twitter and YouTube, Peepla elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at PurpleButterfly-Peepla.blogspot.com. My soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, could be located at PurpleButterfly-Soaps.myshopify.com. Y'all stay blessed, stay tuned. Bye now. Pray for me, I'll pray for you. Take care, y'all.